Hey guys, so today we'll be talking about how to emulate Nintendo 64 games on your Android device. So, the Nintendo 64 came out around 1996-97 and it was the first Nintendo console that could render 3D graphics on its own. It also used cartridges instead of compact discs like the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. So yeah, let's carry on. So, in order to play Nintendo 64 games on your device, you need a software known as an emulator. You can find this emulator easily on the Play Store. I'll leave a link in the description below. So let's open up the Play Store, and as you can see, the Open 64 Plus FZ emulator is here. I've already installed it, as you can see. Let's open it up. So out of the many emulators that you can find on the Play Store, this one is my favorite. If you want to add your own games, just go to Refresh ROMs and go to the folder in which you have kept the games. Mine happens to be in N64 ROMs. Now, technically I can't tell you where you can get these games. If you already have the game on the cartridge, you can easily rip it off that, since that comes under free use. But if you don't have the cartridges, then Google is your friend. So yeah, let's go back. So we have two games here. Now I'm going to show you how you can set up the control. But first, let us have a look at other settings including graphics. So let's go over to settings and display. The rendered resolution is native, but at default it is at around 640 by 480. Now that's good enough for small screens of some phones, but on tablets and such it will look terrible. So yeah, I kept it at native, which is 1080p for my phone. The screen scaling here is at stretch. By keeping it original, it will be shown at an original 4:3 aspect ratio, but I like to keep it at stretch because I like the wide screen. I also kept the immersive mode on to hide the navigation and status bars. I've also chosen to see the frame rate while playing the game to see the performance while emulating. I've chosen it to be shown at the top left of the screen. Now let's go over. You don't need to change much in the audio department unless you are having specific problems with the game, but I doubt you will be experiencing any of that. Let's go over to the touchscreen settings. I have kept the haptic feedback off because I don't like my phone to vibrate. The animate joystick option is on, you will see it soon. I have kept the button style to shaded. Originally it will be the Joshua Gibbs style, but I don't really like that, so I have kept it at shaded. You can of course mess around with it and see what you like, but preferably keep it at shaded because it's less intrusive while playing the game. And the number of seconds before hiding the touchscreen buttons. Now, if you are watching a cutscene, say you don't want the buttons to be overlaying the gameplay, so yeah, you can make the buttons go away if you haven't been playing for a while. So I kept it at 7 seconds because that's about the sweet spot. It's originally by default at 5 seconds. Let's go back to the input. Now at input, I have kept the mappable volume keys on. So this way, you can use the volume keys as shoulder buttons. As you know, you can't use the shoulder buttons on a touchscreen, but it's difficult because sometimes you have to hold the shoulder buttons while pressing the action buttons. You can't really do that unless you use the claw method for holding your phone. So yeah, we are going to map the shoulder buttons to these. You can also map the back key and the menu key, but my phone doesn't have that. So yeah. Let's go over to profiles. So we are going over to controller profiles first. We are going to make a new profile. Let's name it just N64. Yeah, sure, why not? Done. And we are going to, you can see we are going to map the Z button to the volume up button and the R button to the volume down button. So yeah, we are going to use this profile if we want to use the shoulder buttons. You can map any of the buttons to any physical button on your device, so that's cool. You can also use these options to use a wireless gamepad controller. I think I might discuss that in another video. Let's go back. And yeah, that's about it here for controller profiles. For emulation profiles, we are going to keep it at Glide 64 accurate because it's good enough for most games. However, you can switch it up depending on the performance of whichever game you are playing. Let's go over to touchscreen profiles, and we are going to build a new profile. Let's also name this N64 because why not? And we are going to, now as you can see, there are absolutely no buttons here. We are going to place them. So we are going to place the analog stick, which is here at the bottom left corner. The D-pad, I don't think we need that. Yeah, we are going to remove the D-pad. If you have seen the N64 controller, it is a very weird, but we are only going to need the right and the middle parts of it for most games. We are going to need the A-B buttons, of course. We are going to place them in the bottom right corner here. Then the C buttons, which are also very important. We are going to place them right above the A-B buttons here. Then we are going to place the start button somewhere between the C buttons and the AB buttons. Now, since we are using the Z and the R buttons on the volume sticks, I don't think we are going to need to place them anywhere here for now. Okay, so let us all go back, having set up the profiles. Now, using tools, you can actually add texture packs. So texture packs are mods for these games that allow you for better sound or better graphics. You can find them all over the internet, made by fans. We are not going to do anything with that right now. So yeah, let's go over to Super Mario 64. Let's go ahead and start that. Now we should actually go to the settings, use default zoom, screen scaling, and from the touchscreen profiles we are going to keep the N64 profile and the controller profile. For the first controller, you can actually connect multiple controllers if you have a bigger device and play split screen with your friends. So yeah, I'm going to use the N64 touch profile here. Okay, so that's done. Now let's start the game. Just a second, I'm just going to turn the volume down. And now we are going to start the game. As you can see, it's running at a solid 30 frames right now. As you can see, it looks really good in HD. Let's play around with this face. Okay, let's go. Let's start the game. I'm going to show you a quick snippet of gameplay from both games. We can skip on this. Yes, thanks for baking a cake for me, Peach. Super Mario 64 happens to be one of my favorite Mario games. I think it's a great balance between the old 2D style of gameplay and the newer 3D ones. It's simple like the old ones, but controls and feels like the new 3D ones, so it's great, really. Plus, it was such a huge breakthrough back in the mid-90s. Of course, I wasn't born back then, but still, I can appreciate it. So here comes Mario from his pipe. Yay! Thanks for telling me the controls. Let's go. As you can see, I am jumping, I'm punching, yay. And now I'm pressing the volume up key, and he's crouching because the emulator thinks I'm pressing the Z button. Let's do a backward jump. You can control the camera with the C buttons. Let's try a triple jump. And of course, Mario can also swim. And it's all running at a solid 30 frames per second. However, if you want a higher frame rate, you can always reduce the resolution and whatnot. But I think 30 frames per second is fine right now. So yeah, let's go back and check out GoldenEye. We'll also go through all this right now for this game as well. using the N64 profile for touchscreen and the N64 profile for controller 1. Keep in mind that you have to use controller 1 for every game that you are playing right now. So yeah, let's start up the game. As you can see, GoldenEye is running at around 60 frames per second. That's good. You can see some little fluctuation, but that much is fine. I think 30 frames minimum is cool. Rareware, such a great company, man. I hate what they have been reduced to nowadays. You can see the classic Bond opening. Here comes James Bond. Nice. GoldenEye was a really revolutionary first-person shooter for its time. Yeah, we are going to skip this. You can see it for yourself if you are going to play the game. Let's start a new profile on this passport here. The first mission here. I'm going to choose the easiest difficulty for now because I'm a pussy. Let us start the mission. And it's loading. A black screen at 60 frames per second, that's always cool. And the mission starts. I'm not going to even try and pronounce that name. And the game begins. We only have a silent pistol for now. And who's shooting at us? Yeah, we are going to kill you, man. Sorry, man. We are going to change to the AK. And shoot this guy as well. Now I'm going to go up these stairs. Wait, someone's shooting at me right there. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time on the goodbye. As you can see, I broke the glass. And I picked up a sniper rifle. That's cool. Oh, okay, who's shooting at me? I'm terrible at this game. Ah, you can also use this as a melee weapon. That's cool. Hey, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. Okay, both of you die. Just die. The controls are not really good, but you know, if you are feeling nostalgic, why not? Hey there, die. Thank you. Headshot, yay. Did you also know that GoldenEye was the first game ever to implement a headshot? That's a fun fact. So yeah, that's it I guess for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks guys for watching. Since this was my first video, any kind of encouragement would be really nice. So if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Thanks.